Why is it still Christmas, everyone? Welcome to Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. It's still Christmas!
You can't avoid Christmas.
Okay, you know, the obvious assumption is that these were both printed in the same issue because you have a Sonic story and a non-Sonic story.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here with Fleetway Sonic, starting here with Season of Goodwill. It's still Christmas. Written by Lou Stringer, drawn by Andy Pritchett, who I think is new.
I don't recognize the name, so I assume so.
Yeah, but Robotnik prepares an attack on Christmas Day.
Of course.
And, yeah, well, it's Christmas on Mobius, like I was Christmas in the Special Zone last time, and everybody is celebrating at Techno's lab. We're friends with Techno now, finally.
I guess. Yeah, we didn't really see them, like, becoming friends, or like...
No, she showed up with Short Fuse once, introduced herself, and then left.
Yeah, I guess the idea is they're working with Shorty now, so they might as well be working with Techno as well.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Techno and the gang to become Techno and Amy. By which I mean, we're completely leaving all of the Amy stories until there's actually enough of them to equate to a full volume. So there's already been a couple, I think, but...
yeah, I think you've mentioned that.
Anywho. Short Fuse is a real killjoy, I might add, because he's only ever thinking about how, I'm not sure if we should be partying when Robotnik could be attacking.
He's so brooding. God.
It's expected.
It is, but it's getting... I have to say, it's getting a little annoying.
I don't know.
I don't hate it, but, like, guys, he can relax a little bit.
My perspective is skewed,
honestly
isn't it?
funny.
I'm an Infinite fan, so my perspective is skewed.
Fair enough.
But, yes, Robotnik is in fact planning an attack anyway, so maybe Shorty's right.
I mean, of course Robotnik's planning an attack.
He's got an orbital laser satellite. We already did one of these, but I guess we're doing another.
It's an easy plan to write for Robotnik.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ready to fire. Let's get firing, but we have to have a Deus Ex Machina to stop it. Santa Claus is here to dead name him.
Oh my god. Also, it's not Santa Claus, it's Father Christmas.
Whatever.
Yeah, same difference. Yeah, I really like that Robotnik's first reaction to, like, Christmas celebrations is, how dare the citizens of my planet enjoy themselves without my permission?
Which, like, this isn't the first Christmas under his rule. Did he just get pissed about the last one as well?
No. Remember, he did give their permission because he had a trap laid in with the fake robot that gave him presents.
Yeah.
so maybe. But yes, Santa Claus is one real and two here, and he's like, "Oh, you must not use the satellite for peace of mind." And I don't know. It's like,
you know, when all the freedom fighters are destroyed, then he can finally not have to worry about killing them all. Yes.
It's really weird because
yeah.
Like, okay, the joke obviously is that peace of mind. Well, Robotnik is completely evil and unreasonable, but this is him trying to quote unquote solve a problem. You know, if I wanted to do something and somebody told me not to for peace of mind, I don't think I would stop if I was evil, you know?
Probably not.
But it doesn't matter because it almost doesn't even matter because actually what's happening is that Santa distracts him and Short Fuse blows up the satellite.
All right, story over. Oh, excuse me, not the story quite over because then we get a little depressed Robotnik apparently.
I love this shot of him. He looks so sad.
I know, almost makes you feel bad for him.
Well, I mean, it's so out of character. It's pretty obvious that either it's just the story having to end on that note and there's no explanation, or somehow Santa, like, changed their mind, but it's not going to last for long.
Well, and speaking of not lasting for long, one thing that is notable is that he prophesizes that Eggman will lose in the next few months.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know.
I mean,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Anyway, remember Christmas? We're done with Christmas, finally. Now we have to do New Year's Eve.
Here's the incredible bulk.
Yes, okay, we'll get there in a second. This is Eve of Destruction, Stringer and Elson. Sonic's New Year's celebration in New Tech City is interrupted by a mutant monster. And yes, this really is because now we actually have a Purple Hulk parody, and we already had something that we compared to a different Purple Hulk parody last time. But he's Bob Bobble, but he was mutated by Delta Rays to become the Bulk. Sorry, indestructible Bulk. But he literally is purple and called the Bulk, so like... that shitty fucking green screen movie didn't even have an original concept. An original... It stole its unoriginal concept.
I gotta wonder, where did they get it from here?
Probably not, but, you know...
Probably not, but I think that's, it's a funny concept.
But yeah, this is kind of just what the comic is right now, is that we're doing... We did a lot of superhero parodies already, and here's another one. They're
getting a little on my nerves.
Just how it goes here in the special zone.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize until this story, it is a little, to me at least, it's a little weird seeing Sonic spend so much time with the Chaotix, because at least personally, I associate the Chaotix a lot more with Knuckles.
Fun fact, Sonic had not spoken a single word to any member of the Chaotix within the game's canon until Sonic Forces, I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
wow.
did they never interact in Sonic Heroes?
They never interact in Sonic Heroes, and even though they are present in Sonic Generations, Sonic has never shown speaking a word to them in the game.
Fascinating.
I guess technically now that he respawns in the remaster, but originally, the cutscenes where he saves them, he had no dialogue.
Fascinating.
More fascinating than the rest of this comic, because we spend like 3 pages on Indestructible Bulk's backstory that's just a parody of Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
But instead he's getting no...
Yeah, he's... Well, it's not quite incel, because he doesn't blame them,
really.
But... Yeah, he's throwing the bell that's supposed to ring in the new year, and Sonic and the Chaotix have to fight him.
Yay.
But we do get one twist, sort of, which is that his muscles are expanding so much that he can't move right, and we're getting like
it's giant Spider-Man.
I was gonna compare it to Akira, but yeah, I don't know. It's like that's dangerous, but he's gonna be dead or something if they don't stop him. But Vector just shoots him with the machine again.
Well, so yes, but not before Vector is like, yes, of course, I know exactly what's going on. This must be the work of Doc Bobble and his Delta Rays. Let me just go and find the machine in his lab. No problem. Let me fix this. There you go.
To be fair...
How?
To be fair, haven't we kind of been shown before that Vector has some amount of technical knowledge?
There were hints. None as... Yes, we have. It hasn't been demonstrated. Like,
yeah, I guess more it's been hinted.
Yeah, it was that one line where Sonic says, "Oh, techno, whatever, I sound like Vector," and we were confused by that.
Right.
But no, that does appear to be the implication.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Also, why does the Special Zone have the same year cycle as Mobius?
That is a good question.
What does it orbit around?
There are planets, and maybe there are suns.
Well, so the Special Zone is its own universe. Calling it just a zone is not really accurate.
I'm not going to follow this tangent any further. They saved the day. We are definitely leaning on superhero shit as a crutch.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have less of that in the future, but I don't know. Happy New Year, I guess.
It's not bad stuff, it's just kind of boring.
Happy New Year 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move along here to Roots, Kitching and Dobbin. Knuckles encounters a protest by environmentalists and discovers things he never could have expected about Mobius, magic and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're at a public park. We're at one of the last natural forested or nature locations in Metropolis, which Robotnik is trying to pave over.
Understandable. Well, understandable for him.
Yeah. Well, we got protesters here, and specifically this lady, whose name is Pajamas, is like a psychic, I guess?
Yeah, she appears to have visions.
And she's like, oh, a tiny winged creature will do something? They don't actually say. It's very, very vague.
Very vague.
And, importantly, it's not even tiny. Knuckles' pterodactyl that he got last week is not tiny at all.
No, it is quite not tiny.
But, Yeah, I guess Mobius is fucking huge when you're not Sonic. Or maybe... I don't know. It's just
Fair,
like, where is
honestly.
Angel Island in relation to... Who knows?
Yeah, they haven't really established anything like that.
But he's flying overhead and sees the protests going on and sees the troopers who show up and start beating the protesters.
Damn.
So we know what a nice, good echidna friend of ours will do. He jumps down and starts scrapping.
Yeah.
Didn't we see this wizard in the Archie comics?
Looks familiar, doesn't he? He kind of, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
But yes, this cat lady, Ebony. Well, for starters, she recognizes Knuckles, which is weird. But she wants in on the action, transforming into the wizard getup and making magic water tentacles attack the robots.
Is it water?
I mean, it's a blue ball,
like,
and it splashes.
I was just like, magic. It's blue.
Yeah, they're magic blue tentacles, whatever they are.
Yeah.
But that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, magic's always cool.
But it's very funny that Knuckles has had 2 encounters across comic books with 2 different black cat mages.
That is interesting.
I think that's just a coincidence.
I would assume so.
Well, the other possibility would require Ken Penders having read Sonic the Comic, which I don't think.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Or,
I mean,
actually,
we
was
already
this before that? I don't know the timelines. Anyway.
What?
We already had Tails interacting with mage foxes like in Archie,
That's
and
true.
of course Knuckles met Merlin first. I think, isn't that true?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So it's a continuation of that.
I think it's just that comic book writers in the 90s really liked Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.
That is the common thread.
But Knuckles and Ebony make short work of the robots, and Knuckles is like, everyone, go home because there's going to be more of them coming. But the protesters are like, no, we're staying because we want to save the last few trees left in Metropolis. But then
Noble,
the trees...
but stupid.
Then the trees themselves decide to speak up.
They don't need no Lorax.
We're rocking Ents in this series now. The Elder Tree, though, this guy... actually agrees with Knuckles, though, and says, no, actually, everybody should leave. It doesn't matter. And these cyborg monkey men show up? What are these guys?
Just
More
random characters.
Yeah, more Robotnik goons.
It's just it's like we've seen Badniks, and we've seen Cyberniks. These guys are cyborgs.
I mean, again, Robotnik goons.
I'm fairly sure... Okay, I mean, they are probably... It was a little unclear. Do they say actually explicitly? Oh, they do. They do say Robotnik wants them arrested. But they might just be helping Robotnik because, they're just no-gooders or whatever. I don't know that they're explicitly work for Robotnik.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they might be hired goons that were cyborgs by other means.
Sure.
Just because,
I mean, the central figure certainly seems to have a relationship to the mage, so... The other two could be somewhat related in that regard as well, and not to Robotnik.
But yeah, there's still no match for Ebony and Knuckles, but one of them misses a shot and blows up the Elder Tree, which enrages the others, as you might expect.
Right.
Let's say the other trees. The protesters basically don't even matter at this point.
I mean, sure, the tree's getting angry, fine, but the trees are like, all right, I've had it. It's time to just ravage Mobius.
Yeah, they decide to take out their rage on the planet, and so these roots start shooting up from underground. And, you'd think that would be like, oh, it's dangerous, we're gonna get entangled in the roots, or, we're gonna stab people with our branches or something. Doesn't mean much for the... I mean, I guess it kind of does, but not really for the heroes. It's like, that's just more stuff to hide behind.
Yeah, basically.
But, yeah, this third guy, who is not a cyborg, is an enemy sorcerer. He's called Omen, which I guess just gives Ebony someone to fight so that Knuckles can be the bruiser.
Right.
But evidently, they do end up getting kind of caught. They get guns trained on everybody, so to speak. But the remaining trees are like, oh, you guys are fighting, which means that you're both the same. This is the evils of non-plant life.
Racism.
Can you even call it that when they're trees?
Speciesism.
Can you even call it that when they're trees?
Lifeformism.
I guess.
Anyway, it's very simple to solve prejudice. All you have to do is just guilt them into thinking about what their dead relative would do, and that's it.
If only.
Well, it's funny because Knuckles says, "I'm sorry for what happened. You know, I'm sorry for the sins that the
fleshies made.
Yeah, that we committed against you." And it's like, that is, I think, actually a good trait for Knuckles to have, because he would have like respect for nature and stuff. And B, it's funny that he does this but never apologized to the dinosaurs.
Trees give us oxygen. What the fuck did the dinosaurs do?
Ooh, they give us oil. You know, they power our industry.
Wow.
God.
But yeah, he guilt trips them into be like, all right, well, we'll be better. Instead, we'll just get rid of the cyborgs and the wizard.
That works.
And they just kind of carry them off. What are they going to do to them?
Oh, you don't want to know.
It's going to be the forestation plan. They're like the Metarex.
Oh my god.
Also, the Elder Tree will grow back because life sprouts from dead shit all the time.
Life finds a way.
And apparently, Robotnik is like, wow, evil trees, I ain't touching that.
I ain't fucking with that
off the area, never to disturb them again. I find this completely unbelievable.
Yeah, Robotnik would like nuke the place.
Yeah, I mean, just use a lot of fire.
Yeah, they're trees. Actually, no, fire is not always bad for like for growth.
More importantly, hating nature is like Robotnik's jam.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be like, oh, they're living nature, even better.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to pave over it. It's
yeah. Well, again, it's alive. You know full well he'd want to fuck with it just because it's alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it were me, if I were writing this, I would make a pretty simple change, which is just he's like, all right, well, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. Be like, I don't have time to deal with this stupid crap another time.
Yeah. So that's that story. It's not pointless because Evmany becomes eventually an important character, but I would really like for Knuckles to be home now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, at the very least, with some other principal characters. Let's look here at The Monster Wakes, Stringer and Corona. The Freedom Fighters arranged some new housing plans.
Heck yeah.
That's the best way I can phrase this. It's New Year's Day. Short Fuse is he's still brooding.
As usual.
Yeah, as usual.
But Techno is like, hey, since you guys' caravan got blown up, you should just use my lab as a base of operations. Where have they been up until this point?
I assume they've been staying with Techno temporarily, but they just assumed it was temporary.
I guess it's like make a more permanent arrangement.
Yeah,
here.
be like, hey, you know, you guys we're already working together. Just stay here.
Yeah, but they're like, oh well, it seems a little small. Anyway, Knuckles is here.
Hey, Knuckles, you can dig.
And they're like, hey, wow, Knuckles out in the middle of nowhere with a chest and a pterodactyl. He is probably not an important mission. I'm sure he can spare the time to help us.
He's not on a quest or anything.
I was about to be like, well, you know, can we use our plane to get him home a little faster? But then I realized, no, Supersonic blew up the plane. So.
Yeah, they don't got a plane right now.
Yeah.
But yes, they're like, hey, can you hollow out parts of this cave for us to expand the base? And
Knuckles begrudgingly does it.
Yeah, he's grumpy about it, but he agrees. Which, fair enough. But interior decorating was never his strong suit, so he decides to not stick around. But maybe he should have, because Tails and Shorty are exploring underground and discover an enormous beast.
Big man.
It uproots the entire fucking... It's a dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Have you seen the dragon already? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
I didn't think so, no.
But it sucks. They just undid more than just Knuckles work, because they got the whole space shuttle and everything. This may as well have destroyed the lab. I don't know if we even see the lab after this.
I think it does, to me, it felt kind of implied that that the lab got destroyed, which means the Freedom Fighters have lost a second base or third.
Yeah, third, because there was Emerald Hill, and then there was the Caravan, and now this.
Yeah. So, damn, good job, guys.
Also, Knuckles.
This time it was someone else's home.
Knuckles must have been booking it to not see this on the way out.
To be fair, I think he really wants to get home at this point.
I want him to be home too, so I get it.
I mean, yeah.
It's funny that, Short Fuse is always like brooding, but it's obviously just an act, because his first reaction to this is, awesome, a dragon!
It's performative. It's like, I have to be the dark hero.
I have to do this because that's what everyone expects.
I guess I don't know anything about the ages. You look at Short Fuse and you assume that he's an adult, but if he's actually like 14, then this becomes actually more endearing.
He probably is.
I did
like 14.
look at it that way. I kind of assumed that he was a teenager.
Yeah, I assumed he was around everyone else's age.
I guess most of the other characters are, but other than Tails, they don't really act like underage or anything. But yeah, the dragon is pissed off because he was not supposed to wake up for another 1,000 years. Also, he talks and breathes fire.
Yeah.
Well, this thing's really scary, We gotta keep it up because it's breathing fire and yelling at us. So Tails distracts it, Short Fuse blasts it blasts Short Fuse, Johnny smacks it smacks Johnny and Short Fuse again, and then it starts flying away.
Yeah, it's just like, this isn't worth my time. I'm gonna go fly around until the rest of my people wake up.
It's kind of a case of, like, he angrily breathed fire because, like, you bitches woke me up too fast, but then he only kept fighting because they kept attacking back.
Yeah.
He basically just, like, gets bored, and then there's this really weird moment where Short Fuse is like, I'll kill it, and Amy's like, no, stop.
Yeah, like, they're setting this up because apparently this is a character trait, but I don't feel like I've seen this trait before.
It's weird because, like, I mean, the dragon is not necessarily evil, I guess. And I guess they're saying, if it's leaving, we might as well let it.
Sure, yeah.
And I think this last bit of it is really funny and just weird because Tails is like, you're right, I'll fly up and apologize. And he does, but the dragon's like, no, I'm an adolescent dragon. You woke me up 1,000 years too early. I'm an angsty teen right now. And Tails is like, well, could you help us with Robotnik at least? And he's like, I'll think about it. Also, fuck you. He's just...
The demeanor just completely changes.
It's really so does. Weird. He's like, he doesn't say no, but he's like, shut up. And Tails flies down, and he says, all's well that ends well about a giant reptilian monster that nearly killed everyone. Were the SA1 translators looking over this comic shoulder? But yes, there is, in fact, a character trait on display, as Lauren hinted at, because Amy's like, there's some foreshadowing with Short Fuse. Amy says his temper and his kind of kill-happy attitude may become a problem.
Oh, he's gonna become a liability.
His name is Short Fuse, after all. And that's the ending. This story's set up a lot more than it resolved, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
We still don't have a base to stay at.
Yeah, we've destroyed another one even.
Yeah. But let's move things along to the big fight. Kitchen Nelson. Sonic sees the big fight. What the fuck is this story?
Sonic's been in New Tech City for so long, he's decided to get himself a fucking apartment.
Yes, indeed.
Honestly, I don't blame him.
I don't either. I just think that's really funny.
I don't blame Sonic. I slightly blame the writers for having kept him here this long. I'm tired of this place already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, Sonic is talking to Tails and Johnny about the fact that he's still in the special zone.
Yeah.
But something starts knocking his new apartment around. Two buff gray suit men are hitting each other over the head with cars.
Insurance prices in the city must be insane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even sure that they could function the industry that way.
And yeah.
They must have like some sort of government system for it. Yeah, Sonic rushes in to break up the fight before any bystanders gets hurt, but the Bruise brothers here are too strong, and they knock him 20 feet away. We're doing a Blues Brothers joke with these guys? What?
Yeah, I think they were originally a comic book, so it still tracks.
I did not know that.
I think.
But yeah, the Bruise Brothers here, they're two bros who just fight like this sometimes, enough to level buildings.
Oh yeah.
It's notable that Sonic really has been with the Chaotix too long because he's let the superhero stuff get to his head a little bit. Because his first approach to this is like, all right, who's the hero and who's the villain? No, they're both just fighting brothers. It was pretty obvious, I mean, just from the fact that they look the same, that they were both troublemakers.
Oh yeah.
I want to note that the building that they do knock down, they make sure to have one guy say, "Lucky it was due for demolition and nobody's living there."
Oh my god, we're doing the SEGA thing. Luckily, no one was hurt.
I thought of it as the old school Dragon Ball Z dub thing, where like Nappa blows up a city, and then Vegeta says, "Too bad it was Sunday."
Because no one lives in this city on Sundays.
Yeah,
nobody works on Sunday. Yeah, old Z dub is rife for riffing material. Anyway, yeah. So Sonic. People are just kind of used to this, is the funny thing. Yeah. Sonic even makes the mistake of rushing to get this old lady who is way too close to them for safety, but she smacks the shit out of him because she's their mom. She's not in any trouble. And, well, we don't resolve anything. One dude picks up a bus to hit the other one. She grabs the ears and drags him off. And Sonic's like, wow, the special zone is fucking stupid. And that's the end.
Yep, he's right.
I agree, Sonic. I fucking agree.
I've got to find some way out of this zone before I'm as crazy as the rest of them. Anyway, here's another comic set in the special zone where Sonic doesn't get out.
Yeah, he didn't learn his lesson.
It's Hero Hour, Stringer and Pritchett. Sonic has troubled relations with the traditions of some New Tech City superheroes. Yeah, more superhero parody stuff. This fat hippo guy is robbing a bank, and Sonic tries to stop him, but the Zed monkeys beat him to it. The X-Men bit Simeon.
Yeah. There
is one good joke out of all of this, which is that one of them is called Snow Monkey, and he is just a snowman, a snow sculpture of a monkey with no other attributes.
Yes, I love that you just see this thing just like lying around. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I don't feel like I need to elaborate on these other X-Men parodies. You've got fake Wolverine and fake Cyclops, etc. They stand around posturing, and Sonic thinks it's all stupid. But don't worry, it can get stupider, because the clock strikes 10, and they say, we have to make dumb hero poses until 11, where crime rates and villains rapidly, mysteriously increase across the city during this time. So Sonic stops the robber himself and decides to pay their boss a visit because, again, this is all really stupid.
I guess it's a good attempt, but like trying to change the culture in the special zone, that can't end well.
Apparently not. No. Yeah, Sonic busts in on Professor Zed. I don't know whether to say Zed or it's written out as Zed. Even though Americans don't say Zed, we say Z. But there's not a lot of like Britishisms in these comics, so it's always surprising when they do show up.
Yeah, there's been a couple, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, but Sonic busts in on Buff Monkey Man here, and the other monkeys show up to try and attack him, but Sonic, he unmasks to the professor to reveal he's Mad Mino, which is a weasel that does nothing. I don't think he has a power.
He's just there.
It's like he doesn't show any magnetic proficiency.
I do not understand, like, what purpose there was in this character being here.
Well, it was to fake us out into thinking, oh, maybe Sonic can show them the error of their ways, because now they know that they've been tricked, and they will, focus on, like, actually fighting crime instead of just being cool. Wrong, however, as now they will replace the Hero Hour with an Agony Hour, where they'll just, wallow in self-pity, of course.
Of course.
Or wallow in their melted selves. I wanted to note that on the previous page where they all attack Sonic, they all have, their own attack effects. But Snow Monkey's is melt, written in, heroic font.
They're just wheeling them around in a cart, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in like a wheelbarrow. Barrow, jeez.
So Sonic reiterates that, yes, this is stupid. I would like to go home soon.
Can I please go home finally?
Repeat of last story, literally.
Oh god.
Well, we can go back to Mobius for a second for Mock the Doc. Stringer and Dobbin. Robotnik's propaganda broadcast is hijacked by a pirate station making fun of him.
Yeah.
And, I always like the idea of Eggman using propaganda. We open on a family being subjected to it under threat of badnik conversion.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, they would force everyone to watch a broadcast of themselves.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think that's part of it is that, just Eggman in general, across every depiction, loves himself so much. You know?
Yeah.
And loving the camera is a big part of that. But something hijacks the signal. It's, in fact, an entire game show all about dunking on Robotnik.
Hell yeah.
By way of doing humiliating impressions of him.
I am surprised that random citizens, not even backed by the Freedom Fighters or anything, would do this. I guess Robotnik is losing their grip.
He must be, yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of protests recently.
True.
This seems like more overtly... now that I say it, I don't know if it's more overtly dangerous. It seems more like playing with fire than the other protests.
Yeah.
But it's drawing a lot of attention, and it's pissing real Botnik right off.
I like when they're cutting off his speech, and you can see he's saying, now as you all watch me with fear and admiration, because he wants it both ways.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So we're getting annoyed, and Grimer's like, oh, no worries, sire, I will send some troopers to take care of this. And everyone's like really excited. It's like, oh, this is even better than just having my own broadcast. I'll have desisters to my regime brutalized on their own broadcast. But unfortunately for him, and I guess we kind of set this up way back with the Robotnik steals Sonic's power story, the troopers are too dumb to know.
That's right, yeah.
All of the dudes wearing Robotnik costumes aren't their real boss.
It's weird. A few times we get evidence that the troopers are stupid, but a lot of the time we don't. It's not nearly as rubbed in as hard as, like, Scratch and Grounder, for instance.
Oh, yeah, no. Scratch and Grounder, they made it clear that we knew, they made it clear to us that we were supposed to know they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, these guys are more like SWAT bots. They're much more like their intelligence varies on what the writers want from them.
Yep.
But they not only get confused, but they also pick different tribes. Like, they're like, oh, I think this one's real, this one is. And then they shoot each other and explode. And that's it. They failed to stop the pirate broadcast. And that's the end.
Yep.
But, hey, look, plot progression. This is Boiling Point, Stringer and Corona. The Freedom Fighters attempt to liberate a refinery and chemical plant zone, but Shortfuse has some difficulty focusing on the goal.
Starting off, we have a little detail here that I appreciate. So the Freedom Fighters are infiltrating a factory that generates little condensed cubes of pollution that you just dump in lakes.
Yes. Toxo cubes. Instant pollution solution. Solution of, not for. But yes, Freedom Fighters are here. We're hiding in the back. But Vermin is here. And that pisses Shortfuse right the fuck off.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but it means that he leaps into action without thinking, which gums up whatever plan they had before.
Right.
Just like Sonic would do, honestly.
He really is taking Sonic's role.
He really is, yeah.
The difference is that if Sonic were here, he'd somehow pull a win out of this either way, with no problems.
Yeah.
So if you pull it off, then you're absolved of all blame. Got it.
Basically, that's basically been the position of this comic whenever Sonic's a dickhead.
Yeah.
But yes, the the troopers blow up the bridge that Tails, Amy, and Johnny are on. They grab Tails, and Johnny is nearly sent into the vat of toxic shit.
Yeah.
And Amy's like, oh no, only Short Fuse can save Johnny now. But Short Fuse
is too busy
doesn't.
being stupid.
Yeah, he attacks Vermin, which distracts the trooper holding Tails, giving Tails a chance to save Johnny.
Right.
So, But yeah, good on you, Tails, I guess.
Yeah.
So Vermin and the troopers teleport out of there? Is that a thing they've been shown to do?
It's pretty weird. I thought it was odd as well. We've never seen that, and like, okay, I'll accept that. I guess Robotnik could make teleporters, but it's just weird that we've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean it's not a crazy invention for him to have. It's just
no.
You could have.
I've never seen it.
You could have Vermin grab whatever troopers he has left and just run out of there, and I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
I think it's an excuse because Short Fuse would absolutely chase after him.
He
if
would chase after them. You're right.
Yeah.
But then you could have Amy stop him, because that's the actual thing that we're building towards here, because Amy chews out Short Fuse for his behavior because he knew that Johnny was in danger, but he just was willing to kind of sacrifice him to beat the villains, and he didn't even really do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Short Fuse is like, well, fine, I'm leaving. See ya. And
later, fuckers.
Honestly, it's surprising that the alliance lasted as long as it did. Like, he doesn't work well on a team.
He really doesn't.
Not really. And yeah, that was what, about a cumulative week between half of last week and half of this one?
About that?
Well, it depends on how long it was in real time, though, when these comics were released.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, let's move things along to whatever this is. Doomsday? Yeah, Doomsday. Kitching and Elson.
Yeah.
Sidewinder locates Supersonic. Sonic finds a way home, and everyone makes their move just in time for Mobius to face his own crisis.
Oh, no.
Hey.
Absolutely love this overly dramatic shot of Sidewinder on the first page, standing in their goofy shoes as the robe billows in the wind.
Yeah.
That was great.
He's making a move, and he's making it twice. It's still Christmas. No, he shows up and he's like, I will find you, Supersonic, and when I do, you'll be my slave. This is my new Sidewinder voice.
It fits.
Yeah, we really have business as usual to start things off here. Sonic and the Chaotix are fighting Dr. Plague, which I think is funny, and handy little editor's blurb is like, by the way, the Chaotix aren't outlaws anymore. What? We're not even showing their name?
Yeah, can you explain that, guys?
Yeah, that could have been a story unto itself, but
that might have been an interesting story.
I can't believe they dropped that plot point.
Yeah. Anyway, Dr. Plague, what do you even want me to say? He's a bioterrorist, he has a tube of deadly virus he wants to threaten the city with. Sonic calls his bluff, he throws it, Sonic catches it, he throws out 8 more, Sonic catches them too because he's great. This is all not important.
Yeah.
I do find it funny, though, that apparently this guy can just, like, kill everyone in the city if he just drops a vial. Like, could the Chaotix have handled this if Sonic wasn't there? I somewhat doubt it.
You know what? They probably couldn't.
Probably not, no. That would have been up to... I can't name any other character that's competent enough to have been able to handle it.
Honestly, yeah.
So,
no reason to keep Sonic here, though.
Yeah. Just let the special zone burn.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Dr. Plague doesn't matter. He matters so little that he's literally arrested in the background when we've already changed the subject to something else. Namely, that Mobius is in trouble. Sonic gets a very brief call with Lewis crying for help, and is like, oh, I have to find a way home. And, yeah, we haven't seen Lewis in forever because he was a character that orbited Sonic previously, and then he moved to orbiting Knuckles, but Knuckles has been home for fucking ever.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the apocalypse of twin suns prophesied by the old ones, as you know.
Yeah, you know, once again they say something expecting us to have already known about it.
Well,
I mean, no.
They're not expecting us to
what it is.
Not entirely, but like they just drop that.
Yeah, it's like somebody should have brought that up before.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah.
Also, hey, Omniviewer's here.
Yeah, suddenly.
Huh. Omniviewer. Golden Sun. Wonder who's behind that.
I don't think it's meant to be that big a mystery. What I want to know is, he says, the whole planet is in deadly danger. Which planet? There's a bunch of planets.
This one. This is the only important one. This is the
I know, but why only this one? Whatever. I guess because Sonic's here.
No one cares about the other ones.
But yes, OmniViewer, he was keeping Supersonic locked down at slow speed, but he wasn't strong enough to hold on to that speed because Supersonic is too powerful.
Damn.
And this is really weird because he implies Supersonic deduced his plan, the location, and how to explode?
Yeah, so this explanation doesn't check out. My question is, how did Omni escape the asteroid? Did
Omni can teleport, can't he?
So the problem is that Omni couldn't do anything while they were in the slowed time state, right?
Right.
But their explanation is like, but Supersonic figured out that I was slowing them down in time and so started charging up to blow up the asteroid, which implies to me that he couldn't just break out, because otherwise, why wouldn't he just break out? And so he did that to counter the slowed time state, but then OmniViewer shouldn't have been able to teleport out if that was true.
Yeah, they make it seem like the explosion is to stop the slowed time, when I think it's just to stop the being trapped inside a rock.
But the problem is OmniViewer is like, it would have taken him years to escape my trap if he hadn't done this, but like, then you've let him out now, so...
Well, so maybe, if I have to fudge this, maybe he started doing that inside the slow time, viewer realized what was up, and then let him out, but he was still trapped inside the rock, so he's doing it anyway. That would be...
Yes, yeah.
It sucks. It's a stupid explanation. You should have written it differently, but that would be the fudge it solution.
Okay, if Omni had been like, even if I'd left him trapped there, it still would have exploded shortly. That would have made sense.
So, yes, Supersonic has radiated massive amounts of energy to turn himself and the Black Asteroid into a bomb that will set him free and destroy stuff. That's what the second sun is. It's the energy from all that.
Yeah.
And Sonic kind of doesn't care. I mean, he cares, but he's like, buddy, that sucks. I need to get home, though.
Yeah, Short Fuse was kind of acting like Sonic, only caring about certain things and not caring about other things.
Okay, but in fairness, we just said let the special zone burn, so we're kind of on Sonic's side here. Either way, though, viewers like, well, even if I wanted to, I can't. I've got too little energy because I've been keeping Supersonic trapped for weeks.
Also, we see the back of OmniViewer, so apparently they're just like a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is this character? I wish there was an explanation. But there's not. There's only Lightmare who is here. Remember Lightmare? I didn't. I mean, I kind of did. I know that.
I mean, I sort of did, yeah.
But, yeah, they blind Sonic with the Nightmare Box, cage Mighty, and, well, hilariously fail to account for Espio's invisibility. Mostly because he hasn't used it since his first appearance. But the truth is, Lightmare is not here for a fight. Instead, they are here to warn the heroes about Sidewinder's plan to try and secure control over Supersonic, because that'll just get everyone killed.
Yeah.
Also, Lightmare is Sidewinder's daughter, a girl, and doesn't really look like him.
Wow. What a twist. I am shocked. Anyway.
What a twist. I care so much.
Yeah, I don't know why they bothered, because she has very little relevance to anything.
Her relevance is just telling them is exposition.
Yeah. I guess they both kind of have a pronounced snout. That's their only real similarity. Anyway.
I guess.
But Sidewinder has such more of a, scaled snake motif. Whatever.
We're thinking too much about it.
She says that even though he sucks, she can't just let her dad die, so that's why she's warning them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like any of them, if they thought they were going to die, would do this. I don't feel like they have amazing loyalty, but whatever. But she leaves. Everyone sets out for Sidewinder, except Vector, because OmniViewer has plans with him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know, but, Sidewinder's own gang sets out for the asteroid in a rocket ship at about the same time that Sonic and the Chaotix do, with their hover bike, whatever you call this thing.
Yeah, have we seen this thing before? It's really weird.
I don't think so.
I think it first appears in this story. It's
Okay.
It says Chaotix crew on it.
Yeah.
They really are a superhero team.
Vector is at Equinox, a science lab. Everyone here is also a crocodile for some reason.
Well, so I kind of thought, oh, wait, a laboratory. Vector, of course, has scientific knowledge. Is Vector, like, from here?
That's what I kind of assumed.
I don't know if they ever say that. I assume that's the implication.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Probably it's that. And yeah, Omniviewer has got enough power now to transport to Mobius and back, but something terrible there has happened that he bore witness to. And the editor's blurb says, well, you should have read one fragment of a Knuckles story that's happening at the same time as this.
That would be so weird, reading, like, parts of two different stories alongside each other.
That
You
would
need
be
to remember
awful.
that they were published in, the same issue at the same time.
Right.
So you would have got Sonic side and then Knuckles side in one issue, and then
Which
the
I
next
guess
part in the...
does make more sense.
It's like the Archie recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the alternations happen way more often because these stories are so much shorter per part. Yeah, viewer leaves, but the Crocs of the facility also determine that Supersonic's bomb will launch an EMP that completely destroys all electronics. I thought it was gonna destroy the planet.
Yeah, I thought so too.
To be fair, rendering all electronics useless might be just as bad.
It would cause mass death and destruction. But
Yeah.
I guess that's why they made it another sun. Because that's something that the actual sun can already do in real life.
Yes.
You know, in 2012, there was a solar storm bad enough to knock out all technology in the planet that just barely scraped by and missed the Earth. And, like, nobody in the media even gave a shit. It was seriously underreported. Which is
if it
hilarious
doesn't-
because
if
we
it
were all
doesn't hit,
obsessing,
then that's
we were all
why.
obsessing over the apocalypse in 2012.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it didn't happen, so whatever.
That we know of.
I'm pretty sure it didn't happen. Everyone arrives close to the bomb, and Sidewinder's plan is apparently to reach out to Supersonic with his mind.
Sidewinder's psychic, apparently.
That's it?
Did we already know he was psychic? I honestly don't remember.
I mean, it would kind of explain some stuff, but also that's
sure,
so
yeah.
weak. That's so weak.
Oh yeah, no, that's really lame.
At least
Yeah,
like
well,
Rapture
I mean,
Bomb or something.
I kind of expected it to be a really lame plan, but and this kind of fits, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing, and his minions are like, "What? That's your plan? No, we're gonna die. Stop!" And they like turn on him.
Yeah. Which is funny because then Sonic and the Chaotix show up and beat them up anyway, where it's like, well, they were kind of done being a threat if they were against him, but okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, then Omniviewer and Vector arrive, but there's no time. Supersonic is going to explode in 30 seconds. And apparently Robotnik has taken Angel Island? What? Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Honestly, saw that coming with Knuckles being gone for so long.
Yeah, I figured something like that would happen.
They say he's turning the Emerald Hill folk into a permanent biological computer, whatever that means.
To see.
And Sonic's like, all right, we'll solve one problem using the other. Omniviewer, teleport the black asteroid to Mobius.
Jesus Christ.
Feel like that might have some outside implications, Sonic, but okay.
Yeah, Sonic's plan is fucking wild.
Obviously, we're supposed to think as much.
Yeah.
I assume so.
But they send the asteroid through, it explodes, and, well, we gotta shift to the other story to see what the hell is going on with Knuckles back at
Damn
home.
you, Knuckles.
Yeah. Let's move on to the other side of this story. Victims, Kitching and Dobbin. Knuckles returns to Angel Island to find it looking much worse for wear, and Robotnik reveals a new ally. Knuckles is finally home, oh my god.
You know, it didn't take as long as I expected it to, but it still felt like it took a fucking eternity.
It still took too long, yeah.
It's a high quantity of not very long stories, which is a weird mix.
Yeah, it's not like Archie Knuckles going home.
Yeah, basically. But yes, Mushroom Hill has been ransacked. Everyone is gone. Someone is plotting something in the shadows. What's going on?
Oh no.
Knuckles reaches the Emerald Chamber, and it gets to jump on Lewis. He's the only citizen left.
Because he's been studying Angel Island's underground tunnels.
Yeah, I guess Eggman
guess.
just doesn't know about those.
Yeah, I guess so.
I find it weird that at first Porker's like, oh, I thought you were one of them. Like, he doesn't recognize Knuckles' voice or something.
I mean, I can kind of... We'll see in a little bit, but I can kind of understand why he'd think that.
I guess.
It's a stupid reason, but, like, I kind of get it.
Well, I mean, he didn't see Knuckles clearly.
Right, yeah.
But yes, they set up a computer to get a few seconds to warn Sonic. But, you know, we got cut off in the Sonic side of the story, and now we see why. Because the wall explodes in front of them to reveal a whole bunch of Echidna Guardian robots commanded by Robotnik and Dr. Zachary.
Holy shit, he's alive.
And a cyborg.
Yeah, and a cyborg. He's gone full Dimitri.
And it still predates Dimitri,
gosh.
because Dimitri wasn't a cyborg until 1999.
Fucking incredible.
It's crazy. I'm also surprised to see Zachary and Robotnik alliance. Let's see who betrays who first.
Oh, yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah. And, Zachary, while the Echidna robots are taking Knuckles and Lewis prisoner, Zachary explains how he survived the first time, which is to say he was horribly injured in the process, but Robotnik gave him some upgrades. So I guess he does make people into cyborgs conditionally.
I guess, yeah.
But he was the one who revealed where the people of Emerald Hill were hiding.
That makes sense.
And, yes, we see what was kind of spoiled by the end of the previous one, but it's alright, which is that Robotnik has a giant egg-shaped thing that is a computer that uses brains as a power source.
Is it power source? Because the way it sounded like, even more so, it's using them for computing power.
For processing.
That is exactly what it is, yeah.
It sounds more... It's replacing having, like, an actual CPU with a buttload of CPUs.
Yeah, Robotnik explains as much to Knuckles as he takes much delight in saying, oh, I haven't harmed the Emerald Hill folk. I'm going to use them in my machine and burn out their minds. Also, I'm going to burn out your mind as well. I thought there was going to be some sort of explanation as to why he built this, but I think he's just, like, extra vengeful. He's like, I have to have a horrible way of executing everyone.
Oh, that is exactly what it is. It's because it's the Emerald Hill people that Sonic had saved and that we're hiding here. He needs to do the most torturous punishment possible.
Exactly.
And yeah, this is fucked up. And Knuckles and Lewis are loaded in like the rest as viewer sees this and goes to warn Sonic. It's lucky that Robotnik didn't catch a glimpse of him, I guess.
I mean, what would he have done? I guess he does know about the Omni.
Oh, it's a floating computer screen.
Something. Actually, he does know about Omni.
I'm surprised that the Metallics were the only ones to try and control Omniviewer.
No, Robotnik did control Omniviewer. Remember, way back in his introduction.
I guess he just sort of, but he didn't.
Because he didn't think about how useful a portable teleporter / time travel device would be.
I guess I'd say he should have done more.
100%.
And, this page turn is really weird because Knuckles is like, time's running out, I've got to escape somehow before it's too late. And then he just does.
It's so lame.
I gotta escape. Breaks out. Cool.
Yeah, he just is strong.
Yep.
He doesn't do anything special. Walks to a full level, then break, and then rah, and then I smash the computer, rah. But then, oops, Zachary's here with a robot, which roughs him up. And Robotnik's like, oh, please, you think I only have one control panel?
This happens all the time. I've gotten used to this.
Ever since Amy stole those files and shot that computer, I've never been the same.
Right.
And Zachary's like, oh, well, I know where on Angel Island these robots are stored, so I guess that means he didn't build them himself?
I mean, I don't think... Well, not the other ones, no. The first one, though...
He reprogrammed it. They said he reprogrammed it, so I guess he didn't build that one either.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Is this guy even a doctor of anything?
I mean, reprogramming isn't necessarily a simple thing, but it is fitting in the character that he would claim he's so great, even though he works off of others' hard work.
Yeah. So Knuckles takes another shot at Robotnik, but takes another shot from Zachary. But that little move was enough to waste some time, which is to say something huge has appeared in the sky. And we don't get to find out what happens till next week.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird place to end the episode on, but oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, there'll be lots of things next week. There's that, there's other stuff.
Oh, yes, there is.
But next time on Deep Dive Zone, we will recreate a famous event from 1963.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. It was the same day that the first episode of Doctor Who aired.
Oh my god!
That being said, that's where we're done for tonight. It's really funny hearing your reactions, knowing that readers who don't know what's coming don't know what I'm talking about. But all of that will have to wait for next time. As of right now, that is where we are done for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a good time with this episode. Thank you to my co-hosts for being here. If you guys like this episode, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticism, or feedback, you can reach us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. We will see you next week. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and take care.